So part 2 of leases. Accounting treatment in case of lessor. First, on transfer of asset, lease receivable account debit to sales account. The lessor will show the transaction as a sale. Secondly, sales will be created in case lessor, that is dealer of goods, send on lease. And asset will be created in case lessor is just finances and is not a dealer of goods. If asset account is created, it should be at the book value of the asset. Any difference in it is recognized as profit and loss account. These two notes is very important. This and this. First note deals with if the lessor is dealer of goods, then he is going to credit sales account, and if the lessor is only deals in finances and are not dealer of good, then he is going to credit assets account. On receipt of down payment, bank account debit to lease receivables account. Expenses on lease if paid. If any expenses made by lessor, then expenses account debit to bank account. At the year end, receipt of installment, bank account debit to lease receivables to finance income. We have to bifurcate as we have done in case of leasing. We have to also bifurcate the installment amount in two parts, that is principal payment and interest payment. Interest payment can be regarded as finance income, and the principal part is known as lease receivables. Year end, transfer of income, financial income to SPL. We are generally going to transfer finance income to SPL account at year end. And transfer of expenses, also we have to transfer the expenses to SPL at year end. Then the treatment of DTA and DTL, as similar as in the case of leasing. Lessor also have to treat income and depreciation and treat the difference in taxes as DTA and DTL created. This part is very important. What do you mean by net investment, and what is what is unguaranteed residual value? Unguaranteed residual value. So first of all, we will understand the point net investment. Net investment means PV of gross investment, present value of gross investment, very important term, gross investment. Now gross investment means minimum lease payments from point of view of lessor. Minimum lease payments from point of view of lessor. Here point of view lessor is very important. And unguaranteed residual value. What do you mean unguaranteed residual value? Unguaranteed residual value can be determined as expected residual value minus guaranteed residual value. Unguaranteed residual value is defined, it can be calculated as the difference between expected residual value and unguaranteed residual value. What is guaranteed residual value? Guaranteed residual value from the from the point of view of lessor, from the point of view is of the lessor is higher of guaranteed residual value leasee and the guaranteed residual value of third party. Suppose third party is paying 8,000 and guarantee given by leasee is 7,000, then the GRV for from the point of view of lessor is 8,000. Note, see the note. Lease receivables at the balance sheet date should always be present net investment. At each balance sheet date, expected residual value will be revised. It cannot increase beyond original estimate unless guaranteed. Disclosure requirements are not important. Suppose, for example, let's see an example. Suppose rate of interest is 10%, installments is suppose rate of interest is Mm, suppose rate of interest is 10% and installment is 60. First installment is 60,000, second installment is 80,000, third installment is 72,000. ERV at Y0, that is year down payment, Y0 at is 12,000. GRV at Y0 is 7,000. GRV at Y1 is 8,000. GRV at Y2 is 9,000. GR realized at Y3 is 10,000. And now we are going to prepare lease receivables. First of all, we are going to calculate the net investment. We are going to calculate as 60,000, 80,000, 72,000 as installments. We are going to take out their PVs, and then at year Y3 GRV is 7,000. uh, at Y3 at Y3 at Y3 GRV is 7,000. and and UGRV is difference between UGRV is difference between expected residual value minus guaranteed residual value. So expected residual value here it is given 12,000, and expected residual value and guaranteed residual value is 7,000 at Y0. So difference between 12 and 7 is 5,000. So we are going to write, and UGRV is 5,000. So 12,000 minus 7,000, this. So same, we have to calculate net investment at Y1. This is no need to of calculation at every year. Generally, when we make the lease receivables ledger, we are going to take the balance carry forward, and then we'll get the same answer. See, sales figure is 1,83,704. 1,83,704. Bank balance, the amount of installment, that is 60,000. Then financial income is 10% of this, thus 10%. 10% 10% of this amount balance, will get this. Also we can calculate the net investment, same, 18,000, 72,000. GRV will take 8,000 and GRV 4,000. Let's take another question. This is a very important question. X Limited acquired certain pollution control eligible for 100% discount. This is 100% depreciation at cost of 1 lakh. So he has debited 1 lakh as depreciation amount in year 2012, and immediately leased the same to Y Limited. So X Limited has leased the pollution control into Y Limited. So X Limited is the lessor and Y Limited is the lessee. Non-cancelable lease term is 3 years, and lease payment is 340,000 each uh, for every year. Risk and rewards incidental to ownership lease assets are transferred. So this is a financial lease as ownership is transferred. The lease is classified as financial lease and assuming 30% tax rate, both X and Y, assuming that the accounting and taxable income of each enterprise over 3 years. You have to calculate assuming and counting a taxable treatment. DTA, we have to give the effect of DTA and DTL current tax. We have to calculate profit and loss. So first of all, uh, financial year, uh, fair value of the asset is 1 lakh. Fair value of the asset is 1 lakh, and installments is 40, 40, 40 for year 1, year 2, and year 3. So X Limited is a lessor and Y Limited is a lessee. We will calculate the IR first. What is the rate of IR? 9.69%. Interpolation, by interpolation method I have calculated the IR, and then we will bifurcate the amount installments amount into principal value and then on interest as we have seen earlier. Interest, we will calculate the interest. Then calculation of accounting income, we will see the check the accounting income. Profit is 1 lakh, 1 lakh, 1 lakh as given in the question. So 1 lakh is the amount profit every year. And financial income, we have calculated as working this we have calculated financial income. So 96,000 this and this we have calculated, and the PBT, profit before tax, we came to this. This PBT is this for year 1, year 2 respectively. Now we have to calculate, now we have to see is check the calculation of current tax, current of tax. PBT is we have already calculated in the first step before this step. And as financial income, we have to subtract. Lease rentals we have to add, and depreciation we will subtract, as these are non-permanent items and created because of timing differences. So taxable income comes to 40,000, and then rate will be 12,000, and current tax will be 12,000. Similarly in all other years also. Now calculation of deferred tax we can calculate between the timing differences. Timing differences we can calculate. Company has charged then 1 lakh, 1 lakh, and financial depreciation 1 lakh, and charged financial income 96,000, but although they are only receiving 40,000, the difference between 1 lakh 1,09,690 and 40,000 is 69,690 liability day. So limited has to book 69,690 as liability, and therefore the deferred tax is 30% of this, so 20,907 debit. Now difference between this, they are gaining 40,000, but they have credited financial income as 6,753 rupees. So the company has to reverse the liability, and therefore 36,000 becomes the closing balance. And now 30% of this amount is this, and now therefore the difference amount has to be created in profit and loss account 9974. Similar in third year, therefore 10933 has to be created. Now as point of view of Y Limited, profit and loss is 1 lakh. Financial charge they have debited 9690, and depreciation they have charged 33,000. Now PBT comes to this, and current tax is 18,000, and therefore deferred taxes. And this is a very important question. Similar concepts are followed. Sale and operating lease back. Whenever sale of goods or assets entered into along with contract of operating lease, then impairment loss. So calculation impairment loss can be calculated via impairment loss is the difference between book value and fair value of an asset. So impairment loss can be calculated by is the difference between book value and fair value of the asset. Deferred gain is difference between selling price and fair value of the asset, and deferred loss is fair value of asset minus selling price. To the extent there is actual loss, and lease rentals are lower than market value of the lease rentals. In exam we always have to assume that lease rentals are lower than market value. Profit and loss will be transferred to SPL, and deferred gain and deferred loss should be amortized amortized in the ratio of lease rentals, and impairment loss should be recognized in SPL. These two important points are very important. Sale and financial lease back. In substance, the transaction is considered to be financing loan transaction. In this situation, profit and loss or sale is deferred and amortized in the ratio of depreciation. Deferred deferred gain and deferred loss will be shown in balance sheet as a part of reserve and surplus in case of operating lease, but in case of financial lease, such deferred gain and loss will be shown as a part of fixed assets. For level 2 and 3 and SMC, partial exemption exists. For leasing, financial lease follows following disclosures are not required. Generally, leasing policies, reconciliation statement, contingent rent, sublease rent, and not are not required to be disclosed. For leisure finance lease, following disclosures are not required. Reconciliation statement, UEFI, UGRV, and are not required, and contingent rate are not required. For lease and operating lease, reconciliation statements are not required. These are very important points. Let's see an example. We'll get. Suppose, for example, A transferred to a bank a machine on sale and lease back. So fair value of machine was 1,50,000. Book value of machine was 1 lakh. Selling price to bank was 1,30,000, and rate of interest was 10%. Lease rentals were 33, 21, 30, 28, and depreciation is charged as per SLM basis. And estimated life of the asset is 7 years. Consider sale and lease back of financial nature. Generalize, for example, uh, bank account debit to machine and profit and loss account. So bank account is 1,30,000, machine is 1 lakh, and the profit and loss is 30,000. Being machine sold under SLB, so profit is 30,000 here, as selling price was 1,30,000, and book value of the machine was 1,10,000. Now we have to calculate the PV of MLP as point of view lazy. So we have calculated, and then we have to bifurcate the amount into principal amount and interest. Depreciation has to be charged at for 7 years, 1,30,000 minus 7 years, and deferred gain is to be amortized same in ratio of depreciation, that is 4:38. Now we'll charge general interest like laser account debit finance charges to bank account, as installment was 33,000, and we have bifurcated the amount. Depreciation will be charged on assets, and depreciation financial charge will be transferred to through SPL. Deferred gain on sale will be transferred to SPL. Now SPL financial charges, SPL will show financial and depreciation amortization. Balance sheet will show long-term liability and transfer to CL and other current liability and lease liability. So that's all for lease chapter. We will return with another AS.